The world has changed a lot since the 90s and 2000s, and today we're discussing things that have disappeared or are disappearing from your childhood, some of which you might not have even noticed. Do you want to go to Blockbuster? These were the holy grail words said by your mum on a Friday night. Blockbuster was one of the greatest 90s and 2000s experiences which no longer exists. Well, one style does in Bend, Oregon. Late fees was something that we all tried to avoid, and at one point they were Blockbuster's biggest revenue stream. Eventually, this would be part of their downfall and not agreeing to buy Netflix when they had the chance. Physical media in the form of VHS tapes, DVDs, and games have been replaced by online streaming services. And with your digital purchases no longer secure, I actually feel it's time to go back to physical media. If you grew up in the 90s, you probably remember something strange on pavements and grass verges. Yep, white dog poop. It was everywhere, and at some point, it just vanished. Now, it wasn't because everyone became better at cleaning up after our dogs. The changes came from improvements in dog food. Older diets contained more calcium, which made dog waste dry out and turn white. And modern diets are more balanced, meaning that this strange childhood sight has pretty much disappeared. And after we picked up the dog poop, we'd see little red spiders running out on our windowsills, walls, fences. Just pause for a minute. When was the last time you saw a little red spider? Taking Choco Tacos away from our shelves is one of the biggest crimes of this era. In July 2022, they removed them from operation after 40 years. But some savvy shoppers have stockpiled them and sell them for hundreds of dollars on eBay. Klondike, bring back Choco Tacos. You get home from school, you get changed, you jump on your bike and you cycle around your neighbourhood knocking on for your friends' houses to see who's coming out to play. You see the bikes and the grass version instantly know where everybody is. You stay out until the streetlights come on. That was magic. Today's kids organise everything through messages before they leave the house. The spontaneity has disappeared. The magic of just walking outside, finding your friends already there is something that 90s kids will just never forget. Now, this may be a controversial one, bugs on windshields, and it absolutely depends on where you live and what car you drive. In many areas, inset numbers have genuinely declined. Changes in farming, habitat loss and climate have all played a role. And modern cars are also smoother and more aerodynamic, meaning that the bugs which are around are less likely to end up decorating your windscreen. Do you remember Blimps? In the 90s, seeing a giant floating advert above a stadium car dealership or a major event wasn't unusual. And today, they've almost disappeared. There are only 20 to 30 advertising blimps still in operation. And this is mainly due to the expense. A single campaign can cost between $50,000 and $200,000 once you include aircraft, pilots, maintenance, insurance, and storage. Companies moved to cheaper digital advertising where they could reach millions of people at a fraction of the cost. Do you remember Ronald McDonald? For decades, he was one of the most recognisable characters in the world. TV adverts, Happy Meal boxes, birthday parties, and he even had his own cartoon. And over the years, Ronald has slowly disappeared. McDonald's reduced his appearances due to changes in laws in marketing fast food to children. And then we had the killer clown craze in 2016, which basically meant that McDonald's had to remove Ronald from operation. I've done a full video on this one, and there is a link in the description, but cereal toys. Who doesn't miss the sound of a toy clunking into your cereal bowl? Toy Story have temporarily brought toys back in cereal boxes, but over the last 20 years, they have just completely disappeared. This is due to marketing reasons and the toys being choking hazards. Today's kids absolutely are missing out. Rumour has it that Akon is still living off the wealth generated when we purchase his songs as ringtones. They used to be pricey on your credit as well. And now stop and think about it. When was the last time you bought a ringtone? And when was the last time you heard a ringtone which wasn't actually a factory-setted ringtone from your phone? Hit me in the comment section on this one, because I'm not sure if this is global or just British, but in the 2000s we saw a craze of women putting lashes on Volkswagen Beetles and Mini Coopers. I mean, what were they thinking? Giving the family computer a virus whilst downloading 12 songs to burn onto a CD was an elite time in our life. We'd draw on the front of the CDs and even name the songs on there. It was everything. And then the iPod came along, and later Spotify, which effectively killed the need to burn CDs anymore. Payphones were everywhere in the 90s and 2000s. If you left the house, you needed coins because there was no guarantee you could contact anyone. But if you did run out of money, you could dial 100 and ask the BT operator to make a reverse charge call. This would contact your parents or whoever you were calling and ask if they would accept the charges. In the US, I believe you would dial 0. Mobile phones changed everything. Well, kind of. In the 90s and 2000s, we just left them at home when we went out, but over the years, they have killed off the need for public payphones. Do you remember going to some people's houses and they had sofas covered in plastic? My grandparents had this. It was absolutely freezing in the winter and roasting in the summer, and the idea in the 70s, 80s and 90s was basically to keep your sofa pristine. But over time, plastic sofa covers have disappeared, furniture became cheaper, and we actually chose comfort over stickiness. Now here are a few quickfire ones. Paper mats were replaced by the sat-nav and Apple and Google Maps. Disposable cameras were replaced by your mobile phone. Complete computer games were replaced by in-game purchases. MSN and AIM were replaced by WhatsApp. Red eyes in photos were replaced with your mobile phone quality photos. The strip of blue tint across your car windshield, metal rod antennas and metal dust caps on cars just disappeared. Teletext was replaced by Google. The sound of dial-up and having to connect to the internet. Freedom without being recorded. Affordable housing. Smoking inside. And boredom, which has been replaced with doom scrolling. There are a lot more things that disappeared from the 90s and 2000s. Hit me in the comment section with any that you can think of.